Well, welcome to On Point Live. Coming to you live tonight from Jimmy E's Bar and Grill Restaurant right here in Long Beach, California. Hi, everybody. I'm Vince Ferragamo, former Los Angeles Rams quarterback. Alongside of me is 20-year NFL legend, Hall of Famer Jackie Slater. And Jackie, the food, this place is really hopping, man. I'm telling you, this is the place to be on Monday Night Football.
Look at that, Vince.
This is that.
This is my snack.
Oh, my God. Snack.
This is my snack.
What are you going to have for dinner?
Doesn't that look good? Huh?
That looks really good.
It is delicious.
And the barbecue sauce.
Absolutely
delicious.
Man,
we're going to have some fun tonight. We have so much to talk about. We're going to talk about recapping Week 12 in the NFL regular season. We had some bonker games this weekend. I'm telling you, we had some games at Thanksgiving that were shoe-ins, and one was a surprise. We'll talk about some of those games. We're going to have so much fun here at the restaurant with giveaways and stuff at halftime, and so we encourage viewers out there, if you're listening to us, come on down to Jimmy E's. We're right here on Cherry Avenue, and enjoy all the fun with us. And then with a lot of giveaways, we have helmets. We got so much stuff to give, and then also we got a couple.
I'm wondering, how are you going to stay in business? Because every time we have something,
we give it away.
Giving away a $35, $50 bottle of wine. What are you doing?
That's a nice wine. You know, that's our signature wine, Jackie.
I know. The
Super
Super
Tuscan. I take a lot of pride in this thing. Yeah, and it's a family favorite.
I know.
That Super Tuscan.
It's one of my favorites too, Vince.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That Sangiovese is a beautiful wine grape, and especially for food. But, Jackie, we have a couple really great guests tonight. We got one of our former teammates who played with us in the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
5-time special teams MVP player.
Absolutely.
All right?
On our team.
On our team. And then we got another guy that everybody will recognize, especially if he took his shirt off. Okay,
Brown.
Big John. So we'll have them come on in a few minutes. But first, we got to talk a little bit about what happened this weekend with some of these games. Come on in. Our fans are coming in. We're live. It doesn't matter. How you doing? What's your name?
I'm doing well.
Hi, George. How you doing, George?
I'll take off about the Pittsburgh Super Bowl loss, but it's all good.
All right, okay.
They're talking about the Pittsburgh game. That was like 50 years ago, Jackie.
George, you see that camera right there? You're live. You're live. Turn around and say hello.
We encourage them to come on up.
Thanks for saying hello. I'm looking forward to visiting with you in a little bit.
Yeah. Well, Jackie, the first game, we got to talk about our local teams. The Rams and the Chargers this past weekend. The Rams were impressive again.
Some good stuff and then some not so good.
Yeah, well, I got to talk about Kyren Williams.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy, is this success that he had, is that an indictment of the Cardinals defense, or is that just the way the Rams can play offense and how well he can play?
Well, I think that's a little bit of both, Vince. I really do. Because if you can't say that Sean McVay doesn't know how to run the football, doesn't tactfully know how to attack defenses with the running game, because we saw that, a few years back when he had the big back, the big back that he had. What was that? I forgot his name now.
Right. Well, you're talking about Ryan Wendell, though, too, the coach. Yeah. So that's really
but it starts with McVay. Now, what did McVay do this offseason? He went out and he hired in my opinion, one of the bright young minds in offensive line play in the NFL in Ryan Wendell. And you have to remember that Ryan Wendell played for the great offensive line coach that was there at your guy, Dante Scarnecchia, that was there at the Patriots for 20 years or something like that. So one of the things that I end on are not good defenders, or are they running these plays because they're trying to build some variety in their offense? And I concluded that they're trying to build variety in the offense, and I think that's what Wendell is all about. I saw them run 28-29 pitch, which we ran with Eric Dixon, which is a toss to Kyren with a lead back or a tight end or a wide receiver getting up and blocking the forced defender. I saw traps. I saw tackle traps. I saw a variety of things that's difficult to defend. And, the thing about a good running game, as I surmise, is that the more variety you use, the more difficult it is
to defend.
It's simple as that.
Right. And when's the last time we saw a tackle trap by the Rams? They would run a stretch right or left.
It was last year, in the middle of the season last year.
Yeah, and they started it. But I think they're having more success. They rushed for over 200 yards with Kyren Williams.
It had to have been the biggest rushing output in a couple of years.
And we're talking about this running back, Jack. He was on IR. Okay, he was only expected to be just used limited in this game, and all of a sudden he rushes for 206 yards.
Yes.
2 touchdowns. Jackie, I mean, he had 9 touchdowns in 7 games played this year. How is he having that much success?
Well,
is it all coaching or this guy
it
is
goes
talent?
back. Well, he's got a pretty good offensive line in front of him right now too, and I just really like Rob Havenstein. He's doing a great job at the point of attack, securing blocks, making sure he lays those double teams over on that guard real good before he climbs to the backer, and then by the time he starts climbing to a backer, there's a big space in there behind him. And I also like the fact that they can move. These guys can run. They're putting them in the perimeter on screens. They're putting them in the perimeter on draws. They're doing so much variety that it's hard to say I got to play as a defender to say I got to play this real well because you don't know when you're going to get it. And if you play that real well, that means you're not playing something else well. So, I mean, you know how I feel about the running game.
Well, we haven't talked about this one aspect of having a good running attack, Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to call plays when the running game is successful.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, and it's easy for the quarterback to step in and execute his offense.
Right.
Because now he can play action. Now he's not under pressure where it's 3rd and long every down.
Right,
okay,
absolutely.
That he's got to sit back there and pick out the right receiver.
And that's taking the pressure off that offensive line on pass downs too, particularly when you get good pass rushers.
Right.
It's been impressive watching what they've done.
But we saw so many great games. Jackie, what about that Philadelphia and Buffalo Bills game?
Wow.
That was impressive. That was right down to the wire.
Right down to the wire. And, you know, kick field goals are factoring in there big time with those 2 dynamic quarterbacks. Josh Allen is a competitor from the words they go. And you can't, Jalen Hurts, what do you say about him? This guy's
you can't count him out.
He's unflappable, Vince.
You can't count him out. Even late
have
in the
you
game.
ever seen any emotion from him?
No.
I've never seen any emotion from him.
And that's what's really awesome. Okay, that's what's really
it's
awesome.
Impressive watching him.
But how
play.
Buffalo was almost like they had this game under wraps, and then Philadelphia drives the ball late. Jake Elliott, the kicker, has to kick a 58, 59 yarder.
Right at 60 yards.
My goodness. And did you see the weather conditions there?
Winds and everything else.
The rain.
That was
it was
big
coming
time.
out. The ball gets heavy in the rain.
He reminds me of Mike
the ball's
Lansford.
heavy to kick it through.
He reminded me of Mike
look,
Lansford.
We got some more guys. Hey, look who's here, Big Daddy.
How you doing, man? All right, Jackie.
This guy can
Good
play
to
some
see you.
baseball.
Good
Banning
to see you. How
High
you been?
School, right here.
How about that, huh?
Banning High School.
You got his L.A. Rams cap on.
I
so
know it, man. You must have heard about the what we're having here tonight. You must have heard what we're doing here tonight. We're over here.
Yeah.
Man, it's coming.
Very, very good.
Good. Thanks for
yeah,
coming.
that's great,
Turn around and say hello to
Hey,
all of
there
Southern
they are.
California there as we do this live podcast. Say,
All right,
say
that's
hello
cool.
to Oh, boy. And this is the owner of the establishment. Man.
That's
Hey,
right,
listen,
Jimmy
listen.
E, right here.
This brisket right here
Jackie's
is
loving it.
killer. I've already had a piece. It is killer delicious.
Put in the middle, make a sandwich out of it.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to do that.
We got to find time to eat. That'll be great.
It is
I
excellent.
can't wait.
I'll just get you some toothpicks for the camera.
Beach Studios because it's certainly professional. Mark does a fantastic job over there of making us feel comfortable and facilitating us with all the stuff, the modern
we do have a
technology we
good
need.
crew. We
We
do
got a
have a
board.
great crew.
Hey, we got a board we can draw plays on and everything.
right.
But it's also cool when you get out. You see people, a couple people having beers and eating good food and having a good time with all of the screens up. This is a great place to watch a football game, don't you think?
And then they have a lot of their valid customers that come each and every week. And
Right, the guys over there playing dominoes you're talking about.
We talked to Lindsey Hughes over here, and he actually is here with a big crowd every Monday night.
Right, he
And so
says
they
that.
kind of shortened their crowd down because we're going to have other guests coming in.
Right.
People want to come and enjoy all the festivities they have going here tonight with these raffles.
But he seemed like he take a lot of pride in buying the place out when he wants to come.
He does. So we might have to come back here again, Jack. This is great.
I know.
But that win, though, for what we were talking about, the Philadelphia Eagles, coming from behind and late in the game, the calmness about the team,
Right.
and also about Nick Sirianni has been great. He grew up 60 miles south of Buffalo.
Oh, is that right?
In a town, I think it was Jamestown,
So he was at
in
home.
New York. So he was pretty much, and so he came back, and he's really instilled a lot of confidence, I think, in this team. And the way he has been able to take his team in this first year to a Super Bowl last year and just barely missed that game. this year they're one of the,
They're
10
awfully
and 1.
gritty.
That's
They're
pretty
awfully
darn good.
gritty. And the thing that's scary about them is their offensive line. By the way, Lane Johnson, arguably the best right tackle in pro football right now, didn't even play.
He didn't play.
And if he did, it was a very short period of time because he had some injury.
Well, if we have that Illustrator board, if we were back in Manhattan Beach at our studio, we could have drew up that direct run that Jalen Hurts ran for the winning touchdown late in the game in overtime. Remember?
But we drew that play up a year ago in the playoffs or toward the end of the season.
But
it's a center trap to the weak side. They double team the defender away from the center, drive him down and get the backer, and then the center pulls over and kicks out the defensive end. The ball inserts.
It was beautiful.
And there you go.
All design. All done by design.
All by design. All by
Jackie,
design.
And that's one of their inside the 10 runs that they have.
Right.
Along with a lot of other passes.
Right.
They're going to throw to
And if you
Devontae
got a
Adams
quarterback that can squat 500 or 600 pounds, why not use the legs
or
deliberately
Devontae
in a critical down like that?
Exactly. Well, there was other losers, too, that didn't go so well for the NFC or the AFC North, Jackie, with Kevin Stefanski.
No.
Things
didn't go so well for him. In fact, they were down. Think about this scenario, Vince.
Okay, yeah.
They were down 17-12. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the kid from up here at UCLA, he gets knocked out of the game. Did you see him, by the way, how all the blood coming out of his mouth? I mean, he got nailed. He gets knocked out of the game.
I know he took a hit.
But after that, Vince, they try a double reverse in their own territory that leads to a fumble and eventual Denver touchdown to go down 24-12 in the fourth quarter. At the time, the Browns were averaging 4.6 yards per carry. My question to you is, you're averaging 4.6 yards per carry. You just lose your quarterback. Why get fancy with some third-string quarterback? Shouldn't you just go back to your meat and potato, give the ball off?
Well,
and run it down their throats?
That's a good
4.6 yards to carry.
On the surface, I think when you look at that, I would say yes, the Cleveland Browns are a good running team. But what makes them so exciting to watch running the football is that they can interject a few pass plays with their quarterback and make things a little bit more difficult to read up front. And so I think that's what makes their offense. And their offensive line has been doing a good job opening holes. So, but yeah, when you look back in that regard, that might have been a big sticking point with them. But hey, you know what? Things happen in the NFL that you can't predict. And who would have known?
Yeah.
Quarterback's going to get knocked out of the game.
Yeah.
So
no one would have known that, but you would think that if you're averaging over 4 yards per carry, 4.5 yards per carry, I mean, that you're going to keep running the football.
Yeah. Well, Jackie, we've got so much entertainment going on here tonight.
I know.
This Monday night football game's coming up here pretty soon.
Right.
Okay, this is the Chicago Bears are at home. Okay, they're going to play. They have to travel to the Vikings. They're playing in Minnesota.
They're playing better.
They are playing better. But before we watch this game, we got some more guys coming up here. We got guys coming from all over Long Beach. They're showing up.
Hey, how you doing,
right.
man?
Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Turn around and say hello to all of our fans in Southern California on the camera right there.
That's it, man. I think everybody's seeing all the food, so they probably think they're going to come up and eat some of this food. That's good.
If this is his play, where's yours?
No, I know. Well, that's just
we're going to share that. We're going to share that. I don't think I can.
We'll talk. Sounds good. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
Yeah. Well, that was.
This is kind of cool.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in I don't know when.
I know. Yeah, he was Guy Barton's buddy that we used to do. He did a lot of, work for the stadiums and building the stadiums and doing all that stuff. So they did a lot of great work, great construction company.
I feel kind of. You're making me feel kind of famous, Vince. Everybody knows you in Southern California.
I don't know.
It's like everybody knows. No, they don't know me. They know you.
NFL.
Nobody was watching my fat rear end do my job, but everybody knows who Vince Ferragamo is. That's for sure.
Well, before
it's kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it is cool because we're home. We're at home in Southern California. But I have to tell you, we're going to have to bring one of our guests in here because this next guest we got to talk to him about Rams defense. Because Jackie, he was a 5-time special teams MVP for the Los Angeles Rams in 1979, 80, 82, 83, 84.
You don't have to tell me.
All right.
And he played it with a vengeance. He was one of the real heat-seeking missiles that we played with on special teams. He went down to blow you up or either get knocked out himself.
Let's get him up here. Let's get Mr. Ivory Sully, and if we can get Ivory, if we can get Ivory, come on and join us, Ivory. Come on, man. This guy right here, Ivory, you got to put your headset on there.
There you go, Ivory.
Definitely do that.
Put that headset so you can hear me.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
We're just talking about the Rams and their win last weekend, how impressive it was. And Ivory, before we get into the Ram game, though, we got to go a little bit about when you came to the Rams, man. Now this guy's a Jersey boy right here, and I didn't know this, Jackie, but this guy was all-state in tennis, all-state in track and field. Did you know? I didn't know you were a tennis player.
Oh, yeah, man. That was my first sport because I wasn't allowed to play football.
He wasn't allowed.
My folks wouldn't let me play.
They didn't want you to do the contact.
Did not want me to do or get hurt.
Wow.
But one day, caught my dad on a weekday.
Yeah.
He actually had to go into the hospital for some gallstones to get taken out. And he gave it up. He said, "Okay, go
ahead.
Go ahead, man."
And you just took off. Huh?
That's how it happened. But I was one of those guys though that did every sport. The Phillies, like they drafted me. Then there's, like you said, there's wrestling. Then there's track and field. Then there's
But do you
did
think it's
everything.
a good idea to play all kinds of sports?
I think so too.
I do too.
I think
as a
so
young
too.
kid growing up.
every sport I could play, I played. I'm serious. I swam. I was a lifeguard.
Is
You
that right?
swam
Now
too?
tell me this, Vince, I've tried to tell myself this relative to my own career because I played I played basketball, I was on the track team, and I played football. I believe skills transfer.
They do.
Everything that in basketball and track and field, everything that I had to work on to be decent in those sports, I was able to apply to football. Did you find that to be the case with everything you did?
It helped my micro abilities in any sport.
Mm-hmm.
I carry it over what I need, and I leave what I don't need to use on the shelf.
Right.
But I'm telling you, in football, it's very, there's a lot of body movements in there.
Yes.
Well, just like when you're playing center field, dude, I'm going to go and someone hits it into the gap. I got to go get it and run it down.
Right.
Or
Same
dive
thing
for it.
same thing as in football. I had to go balls up on a fly pattern. I got to go get it. All those theologies, man.
But Jackie, we got to talk to Ivory about the way he was able to adjust coming into the NFL.
Right.
He was a free agent. He was undrafted.
Right.
Right. He came under the assumption with Ray Malavasi that he would play running back.
Yeah.
He was slated as a running back.
That's the first time I've heard that
No.
as long as I've known him.
Okay.
That's right. I was
So when he came to camp, didn't Ray Malavasi walk up to you and say, "Hey, I think with your speed, I think we want to put you at safety. We want to put you in the defensive backfield." What'd you say?
It was the first day.
The
first day of training camp. I came into camp. He called me into his office. I said, "Wow, what's going on? Am I getting cut already? I haven't even had a practice."
Right.
Man, he told me, "I think you're going to be better at the defensive back," because at that time we had Wendell, we had Lawrence McCutcheon, we had
a lot of backs.
We had a lot of backs,
Yeah.
and so he just said, "We're going to put you over here." I thought that was just my ticket to go get cut and not have to worry about me.
Wow.
I went back to my room. I cried.
Yes.
I bawled my eyes out. And then I went to the afternoon practice, and I started knocking people. Anybody that how I was, right?
Yes.
I'm very.
I
I'm a physical
absolutely
guy.
do.
I started getting that reputation that day.
Is that
Well,
right?
that's a great story.
It
though,
is a
for
great
a lot
story.
of young kids that maybe are not sure if they want to play professional football. Here's a guy undrafted, goes there, proves himself because of his background, maybe win multiple sports.
Yeah,
That's right,
yeah,
man.
and was not intimidated. Now this
Yeah.
is the thing I
Right.
want to know, Irie, and I'll admit this, and I don't know how Vince feels about this, but there was a time in my career when I said, okay, with the quarterback, you can't win without him. You can't win without a good offensive line and guys are, but on special teams, I used to think to myself, we can almost get anybody to do that.
Right.
And then to have to watch my son have a passion to play the game and then see him nestle in at a position that basically used to think that you can get anybody to do and to have the success that he did. When you were playing special teams, Did you ever feel like it was a job that was beneath you, or that you had been put
Outcasted.
down because you were playing special teams?
First off, I want to say your son is special, and I love him, and I love what he's done
Well,
for that
thank
position
you.
in the game.
It is fun to watch.
Did you coach him at Servite?
No, I
Ivory?
didn't. I
Oh,
missed him.
You missed
Yeah,
him.
I
You
missed him, yeah. But listen, I mean, playing special teams, my first game, or I think it was the first or second game that I went and got activated, because I didn't get activated until like the 6th game of the season in 1979. I blocked the punt. We went out and scored. I was against Minnesota. That was the play that turned that game around, and we went on to win that game.
Is that right?
So I had, not knowing anything else, all I know is I got to make a play. That was the only thing that I was focused on. They got to see me, just like when I cried my eyes out and went on the field that afternoon, and I just started knocking
Blowing
heads.
people out.
Start knocking heads. This, I went on, and it was just there. It was like a blessing from the Lord, and I just blocked it, and we scored a touchdown on that play.
Wow.
And so that was meaningful. So that
It was.
told me that I need to be that guy then, to go ahead and make plays.
Right.
I don't care where I am on the field, I'm going to make a play.
Well, that's the one thing that I remember about you, Ivory. And I used to look at you and I used to say, this guy's gritty, he works hard, he never complains. Why don't they find another spot for him?
Yeah.
It's what I always thought. This guy's too valuable to be doing that, but he was doing it better than anybody else on our team.
Well, people wonder. We went to the Super Bowl in 1979 when Ivory was a freshman.
Right.
It was a rookie that year,
yeah.
and so, it's an amazing when teams play well together.
Yeah.
And when they play, they gel, and they offense, defense, special teams. That propels you into the playoffs and makes you win the big games.
That's right.
And that's what was the result of that hard work and the time put into it, Jackie. And so, but not only did he do it that
encouraging.
1 year, he did it for 5 years.
He
like
did
that.
it for 5 years, and
That's amazing.
And it was always encouraging watching him work. He came to work with a good attitude every day, and never, you never seemed like you had a problem at all. You just wanted to work.
Well,
you
you
just
know
wanted
what?
to do your job.
Well, you know what? All you guys, my brothers, you guys elevated me. So I basically became the captain of the special team. So 5 out of the 6 years, I was that guy.
You were that guy.
I was that guy.
You
and
went
I won.
out. You went out to the middle of the field with us when we walked out
That's
to meet
exactly
the other
right.
team's captains.
That's it.
I was
For the
and
flip of the
That
coin.
was an honor.
It
That was
was.
like, I can't believe
It
that.
really was.
Walking out with you, walking out with Jack Youngblood. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's an
I'm
honor.
Ivory Sully for crying out loud. It was just
The
fantastic.
best special team player in the NFC.
Hey, brother,
On
I'm
6
telling you,
different
man.
Now,
occasions.
Ivory, and Jackie's son, Matthew, goes
Yeah.
out for the flip of the coin as well.
That's right.
He's a leader.
That's
and
right.
you were a leader.
Yes.
A
That's
leader
right.
of men.
That's
Okay.
right.
And I think it's so special because we were there at his Matthew's first game with the Patriots. We're going to go back to the last game that he's going to play. I think this is
Wow.
going to be his last game coming
Yes.
up in January, isn't it,
Right.
Jackie? I'm really looking forward to going back there. And I know the Patriots, this is not their best season.
Right.
But you know what? That means a lot to a youngster that has been in, I say youngster, he's in his 30s now, but he's been in the league 16 years.
Wow.
And he's been doing it on special teams like
That's
you
right.
did.
That's right, man.
Just-
and you know
just
what?
like you.
The character of your son is the thing that impresses me the most. That's what I always wanted to carry with me into a relationship, onto a team, into leadership, is the character aspect. I just wanted to be supportive and be there for guys. That's what your son. That's why I always watch. If there's a Patriot game on, I'm watching it because I
that?
want to see what your son's doing. Because
Wow.
I know he's making wrecks,
Wow.
wrecking house and
Wow.
stuff like that.
Right.
I respect.
It's been a mirror. It's
respect the heck.
been
the
amazing
game,
to watch.
and the special teams game has changed a ton.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like it used to be. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah,
we were on kickoffs. They weren't like
Yeah.
letting the ball fly over their heads.
That's right.
Are you
No.
kidding me?
You
no.
couldn't kick
No.
the ball out of the end
No.
zone
Yeah,
back in those days.
You
yeah.
couldn't
You
catch
had to
your
return
knee inside the 25 and
That's
bring
right.
it on out.
That's 100% right.
None of that catching the knee. You got blown up.
That's right. So there, it is a difference, and you don't even see kicks being blocked like you used to
You
see.
don't. You don't.
You don't see because
We had one game. I think we set the NFL record where we had 3
against the
punts
Giants, brother.
blocked. It was 3 punt blocks.
Yeah.
3 punt blocks in
Yes,
one,
sir.
in one
I'm
game.
getting
We
chills
set the
right
NFL
now.
record.
Yeah.
I'm getting chills right now. It's against the Giants. I know,
Yeah.
and I had one of them.
You had one of
That's
them.
right, brother.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
I remember
man.
that was the NFL. I don't know if anybody broke that record yet.
Yeah, I don't either, quite frankly.
Hey, guys, this game that just started, this Monday Night Football game, you know, the Bears playing the Vikings in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Bears got the flip of the coin, and Justin Fields, I've been impressed with Justin Fields. He's leading his team right down. He's another cool customer back there.
Yeah.
But we got to get Ivory's comments about the Rams' defense.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they've been suspect somewhat this year. Their offense has kind of taken over, and they lost a few games like that. They could have been better on defense. What is your analysis of how the defense has been structured, and anybody that stick out in your mind that that could be somebody special on the secondary? Or
I notice a defense that has certain aspects in it. It's very young, extremely young. It seems to me that as the game progresses, they play themselves into games. I have not seen this year where they have actually started on a 3 and out. I mean, this to me. Now there might be, but it's just not. It's just not the way this team is structured. I think the corners are very young. It's not Pat Thomas and Rob Perry. I'll tell you that. Okay,
No.
playing at 7 yards. These guys, these cats are playing at 9 and 10 yards. I said, holy cow! Anybody could throw in front of that.
Yeah, that's
A
right.
team's going to go and take what they give us, right? And it really kind of just really. If you watch me watching a football game for the Rams in the first series, I'm yelling at the TV. I'm saying, why are you playing so soft?
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay. Well, first of all, you can't play zones like
I
now.
have the same complaint
Right.
when I see soft zone out there,
Yeah.
and it's just like you're
can't-
just giving the offense a chance to get first down.
You can't do it anymore.
No, you have to pressure.
You have to
Play
pressure.
man-to-man.
That's right. I mean, you have to be able to. And these kids, they're kids. They're they're young men,
Right.
and they're not. I don't think they're quite ready yet, but they're playing themselves
Right,
into it.
right.
If you watch the game last week, they played as the game goes on.
Better and better.
It always happens, and that's the way. That's
Yeah.
the tendency.
You know, Ravi, I think one of the reasons why we're seeing that with this particular group of Ram players now is because they deliberately went out and drafted guys who had been productive, but also who were young leaders throughout their college careers and had played a lot of football. So these young men, they understand what it takes to get ready on a week-by-week basis
Yes.
to compete and help your team win. I think that's what we're seeing, the maturation of some young leaders that's helping them win on the field.
And it's me being patient enough to let that come to fruition.
Yes.
Quite frankly,
Right.
that's
That's
the story, really.
Well, that's the case for the Rams this year because they're so young.
You know,
You
and
know.
I watch, Aaron Donald.
Yes.
You know,
Oh, I was going to ask you, what do you think about him?
he's a tornado,
Unbelievable.
waiting to go off. You know, and
Unbelievable.
you watch him I watch him in the first and second quarter, but then he comes out of that locker room in the third quarter. Oh my God, it's like a
Where did that come
presence.
from?
It's a presence that he has.
Yes.
And you can't hold that guy down when you don't want to be
You
held
just
down.
can't do it.
He's a special gifted. He's like. We've seen a lot of football in our days, right?
Yes, we have.
played a lot of football. haven't
Played a
we?
lot of
The
football.
talent.
How many times you seen that?
Never.
That's exactly.
I
what-
tell people that all the
That's
time.
That's why I
That's what
feel.
I
We've
have
been talking
never,
about that
I
all
have
year.
never ever seen a defensive lineman,
Nope.
whether he was an edge, a defensive end, or a defensive tackle, play with the consistent intensity and technical wherewithal and strength as Aaron Donald does on a play-by-play basis. I've never seen it before.
He is a wrecking machine.
Yes, he is.
And that is, here's the advantage to the Rams. You've got Aaron Donald taking 2. That leaves only how many linemen now? There's only 3 linemen to block
That's
the
right.
other 4.
That's
the other,
right.
the other,
Other
if you-
3.
and if you're going to
They
bring,
gotta use the
if you're
double
going to
team.
bring a blitz or one guy, you got 4 on 3, bro.
Right.
That's an advantage.
That's an advantage.
And that's why you see what you see.
That's absolutely.
Well, we can talk about him all night
We
long.
can go
because
on all
he's got
night.
Yes,
accolades
sir.
after accolades.
I'm still trying to figure out
I'm
if I
telling
can
you.
block Aaron Donald.
But
I'm trying to
that's
figure that out.
There
Yeah,
you
that's
go.
right.
You're the guy
Oh,
that I
I'm
wanted
sure
to
you
ask
could-
that question.
I'm sure you
That's
can
right.
figure it out real
Woo,
quick,
dog.
though, as good as you were.
He's
But-
got good feet. Jackie's always had good feet.
Ivory,
man.
what do you think about Jimmy E's, man? Isn't this a great place? So you got to enjoy some of this food now, Ivory, because this guy can. They've got some good food here at
Well-
this place, and look at all these TVs.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Everywhere
First of
you
all,
look, you can see the game.
that's the number one thing. I could see the game. If I'm
Yeah.
coming in to see a game, I could see a
You
game.
can see the game.
I cannot wait to break bread, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
I have not yet broken bread
Well,
here,
I
Wait a minute.
but I'm
break
telling
bread
you,
with
Look
you.
at
it is looking
Yeah,
unbelievable right here.
Let's
That's
look
the
at that.
Get your
brisket.
plate, man.
Oh,
You got to
my
get your
God.
plate.
Oh,
Get-
my
get
gosh. Are
something.
you kidding me?
Can't
Forget
wait till we
about
go
it.
to the commercial break.
Man,
Yes,
I'll
sir.
tell you
Yes,
what,
sir.
but, man, we got to thank you for coming on with us, man. This was
Yeah,
so
thanks,
awesome.
Irie. Appreciate you, brother.
Man,
Thank
we
you.
just, but, before we leave, anything else you got going on now? I know you got business. You always been in the apparel industry.
I've been in
and
the
stuff,
apparel
but, man,
business,
how's
man.
everything going?
I build brands. That's what I'm
Build
doing. I'm in
brands.
the intellectual property business. I build
Well, we
brands.
got to talk. We got to talk.
I
We're
make
gonna build a
small
brand.
names big, okay? That's what I do, Vince.
Wow.
And I've
So-
done that in the apparel business. That's what I do.
Oh, cool.
You got a website?
Well, no, I don't.
Well, we gotta
Because
get you a
when you
website.
get into advanced age, you want to choose. You want to pick and choose who you do business with. So I unfortunately don't really have Ivory at Ivory Sully is my email.
Oh,
That's
there
what,
you go. All
yeah.
right.
So
That's good.
if you want to
just
look me
email
up, you
Ivory,
can.
and then you can get a hold of him. He'll break
you
it down
go.
for you.
Oh, yeah. He's
Well, Ivory,
really
thanks,
good. He's being modest. He's really good at what
That's
he does.
good. But, coming up now, Jackie, we're going to have to get John Brown up
Oh,
here.
yeah,
because
brother.
Big John
we're going to
Brown.
talk John because he's got 2 sons.
Yeah, that's right. I
now,
coached one
you
of them.
coached one,
Equinemius.
Equinemius, at Servite High School here
That's
in
right.
Southern California.
That's
Now,
right.
All right.
Equinemius plays with – does he play
Chicago.
with
He's
the
with
Bears?
Chicago. He's
Yeah.
with the
That's
Bears
right.
tonight.
That's right.
And I think John has his Bears hat on tonight, so we're going to get
Yes,
him.
he
Yeah,
does.
So,
definitely.
Ivory, go find John and bring him over here, would you please?
God bless you
We
guys.
got to get
All
him,
right,
man.
sorry.
Love you
Love
too,
you, man.
Ivory.
Love you
Way
too,
to go,
man.
big man.
All right,
Good seeing
brother.
you, Ivory.
Look,
Well,
look
you
at
know,
drive-by Washington. James
there's
Washington,
James
UCLA's
Washington.
owner.
Right, there he is. Right. Did he play with the Dallas Cowboys?
He played with the Dallas Cowboys.
That's
He
right.
should have been
James.
the MVP in the first Super Bowl that he
Hey,
played
come on in, John.
Hey,
we
John.
got John Brown.
How
John,
you
I
doing,
was just
John?
telling man they might not recognize you without your shirt off, but it's okay, man. It's all right. Keep it
How
on.
are you, John?
Fantastic.
Good, man. It's good seeing you.
James Washington. How you doing, James? Good to see you,
James,
big man.
James, you're going to have to come and visit with us a little bit later. You're looking
Yeah.
good. You're looking good. Drive-by Washington, I used
This
to call
is the
him.
place to be.
Drive by Washington.
Drive-by Washington. He would hit you. He would blow you up. James, turn around and say
around,
hello,
say hello to everybody,
Say hello to all the
James.
fans there. It's
That's it. There we
on
go.
the. Oh, no, I'm talking about on
No,
the
the
camera.
camera, man. We on the camera.
You're live on
Yeah,
our
that's it.
podcast there, young man.
He's like,
All right, James. We're going to get you in a little bit, okay?
All right.
that's funny.
Well, hey, our next guest is none other than Mr. Universe in 1981, 1982. John, that's going back to our day. We're
Back
at
in
the
the
Super
day,
Bowl in
back in the day.
1979,
Yeah, yes.
1980.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, John, we have the reason why John was so gracious to come down here tonight because I've seen John in LA Fitness in our gym.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
is that
work
right?
out.
Wow.
For
And
years,
this
years.
guy just doesn't work out.
Well,
He puts the metal. He puts the metal to the metal.
I
man. I'm
know.
telling you,
Well,
Jackie.
well, Vince, listen.
He
If
doesn't mess
you ever
around.
see, we got to get a picture of you and have our producer post it from when you were competing. And I certainly do remember what he looked like. And I remember thinking to myself, if I could develop my shoulders and chest like that, then I'm going to be a powerful offensive lineman. I'm going to be knocking people around. I never could get looking like him. I never could get looking the way he did. And it was always amazing, man, to just imagine the work that you put in to become the tremendously built
you.
athlete that
you
you
are.
were.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that, the mental part of,
Oh, man.
of
You're
doing
talking
that
about
work.
Dedication, because that is a sport where you don't have any coaches, no managers. If you don't go to the gym, no one's going to call you and say, where were you at? Why didn't you come to the gym? No one's going to care about you. So it's individual sport, and only one man can win. And every man on the planet was invited. So it's a lot of – it teaches you how to be super disciplined. No question about it. Beyond belief. So I try to instill that
What
work
was
ethic in my
what was
boys.
it like knowing that all of your individual efforts was going to land you on a platform competing at some point in time against Sergio Olivia?
How do you know about this name?
I'm telling you, man,
Wait, how do you know about that?
I had a bad body, and I had to work. I had to go in the gym and work hard like
Wow, I'm
everybody else,
shocked.
just to be able to get to be a good football player. I mean,
Man,
I
he
could
said
never.
Sergio Oliva, he's like a god of bodybuilding.
Is that right?
Oh my
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Jeez, Jackie.
I'm sure you competed
Man,
against
that's
him.
good.
No, he was
A little bit older than you.
Yeah, but I admired him.
A role
and-
model.
Yeah, one of my role models, him, Sergeant Bray, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all these guys.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
But you said Sergio Oliva. You shocked me that you know that.
I
As
was
a
watching.
football player.
I was watching.
He was watching.
I was watching.
Yeah,
man.
he
absolutely.
pays attention.
Yeah, these
Smart,
guys
you
are.
know?
I mean, bodybuilding is it's truly an individual sport.
It
I
is.
mean, and a person who does a great job at it and is competitive and is winning the way you were, John. You have to be paying attention to details. Every little thing.
It was a 24-hour job.
Right.
I went to the gym 3 hours. When I say 3 hours, if the average gym rat could hang with me for 15 minutes, I would shake his hand. And I had to go 3 hours.
Well, John,
Then-
I have to stop you because I saw you working out your sons
Yes.
at the gym.
Yes.
Okay, years ago.
Many
Okay,
years.
Years
Yes,
ago.
Yes.
And Jackie, you talk about discipline. These guys were in and out of another exercise all the time. There was hardly any breaks
Yeah, no breaks.
for rest.
Yeah, no breaks.
And I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself, wow, this guy's got his sons working like this at this young age, and that's how you believe. But
You know,
that
Vince, you-
but now I see them in the NFL.
Yeah.
Vince,
And
you are
now I
amazing.
know why.
That's a
You
funny
are
story.
amazing, Vince. You're amazing because you had that question on your mind. But this guy was getting ready to tell us the nuts and bolts of what drove
Well, let him go. Let
of
him
what
go.
drove him to be special. Can
Yeah.
you recapture that thought and finish it?
Yeah. So see, when you're bodybuilding, it's not like any other sport. And for me, I'm so happy that I did it because the things I learned from bodybuilding, I can instill in my children. I taught them how to. I can look at my boys and say if he's dehydrated. I don't have to wait until he gets a cramp in the game and he has to come out. I can look at him and say, you're dehydrated, you're going to get a cramp.
Go get some water.
Drink right now. I understand the rotations of the earth. You must understand when you fly from California to New York to compete in a competition, in bodybuilding, you want to be dry, you want to be fit, you want to have more vascularity than any other human being. But if you have water retention, it doesn't show good. And when you fly, because of circadian rhythms of the earth, if you're going to the East Coast, you lose that edge. So when my sons travel to play football, I always remind them. Every coach will tell you to drink a lot of water, hydrate.
Yes.
But here's what they don't tell you. When you hydrate, it's not like an aspirin. You take an aspirin, it works right away. In order to get the water into your system, you have to take electrolytes, but you must electrolyte load for 4 days. And then it gets in your system. You can't just do it the day before. 4 days you got to load on electrolytes to take an effect on you. They don't know these things. So teams, true story. Equanimous went to Notre Dame. I was at the Notre Dame game when they played USC. USC got off the bus. I go, they're going to lose. They
You
had
can
lost.
just tell by
I could
watching
see
them.
they all lost 3 or 4 pounds. And if you're dehydrated 10%, you lose 30% of your strength. 30%. So your whole team is 30% weaker than the opponent. But this is only bodybuilding. These guys don't know that.
Right.
So these things I can tell my kids, hey, look, be careful with this, be careful with that, boom, 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 boom.
Right.
It's very specialized. It's
It-
very
it is.
specialized, and you really
and
have
and
to
what
prepare.
what a wealth of knowledge. You know,
Yes.
Vince, I can remember the different things that I went through. I showed up one camp at 259 pounds where I was trying not to be fat, and I had no power. So I was eating no red meat and not taking care of myself. And I got back on the red meat after I
Hear what
failed
he said?
so
Yes.
miserable.
You lost power.
Yeah, I
lost
lost
power.
all.
He didn't have
I
power.
lost power. I could move. I had quickness, but I had no stamina and no power.
Right.
No
This is
stamina.
what I'm
no
trying
power.
to tell people.
Right.
See, I have a thing. I have my own supplements called cane protein.
What's the name of it?
Cane, C-A-N-E, cane protein. I developed cane protein when my kids were 8, 9, and 10 years old, just for them. Why? Because everybody wants you to eat clean. Listen to me carefully.
Right.
This is very important. You don't, as a football player, as an athlete, you do not want to eat clean. You want to eat dirty. Hear what he just said? He ate clean. He was trying to get quicker, but he lost his power. All these guys telling people to eat clean, eat chicken, eat fish. No, it's horrible. You have to eat red
Protein,
meat.
right? You got protein.
But the source is important.
The fats are important too, aren't they?
Yeah,
though?
all of it. Junk
Yeah, because
food,
you're going to burn that.
Yes, junk food is important. I'm telling you
How
right
about
now.
pasta? Can we
It's
eat pasta?
good. Pasta.
Pasta's good.
Oh,
yeah.
Vince, get
So
out
we
of
can
here.
do the pasta, man.
Yes,
Pasta
sir.
We
is
can do the
always gonna
pasta
be a-
bolognese sauce. We're in good shape. We're
Pasta
good
is
now.
always on the
Bolognese.
menu.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. No,
I can
but
sit
it's
here.
true.
I can sit here, John. I can sit here and listen to what you're saying all day long because it's so relevant.
It is.
It's
It is.
now, Vince. I can't speak for you as a quarterback. You know, taking with the fluffy dropbacks and throwing the passes and all that. I know
You
it's a
gotta
little
look
bit
pretty,
of work.
you know what I'm saying?
But when you got Reggie White beating you, or Howie Long thumping you, or Too Jones long arming
You gotta
you,
be ready.
you better have some substantial strength, and you better be able to sustain it over a 65 or 70 play game. Otherwise, you're going to get destroyed.
There it is.
And to have had the opportunity to have visited with you during my career at that time would have been so meaningful to me.
I don't understand. Looking at my background, looking at my kids. If you have one kid, it's successful, okay. 2 kids, all right, but 3, that's systematic.
It's systematic.
I don't understand why coaches don't come to me at any level and at least say, sit down, I want to hear what you have to say, I want to challenge you. One thing I'm saying to you is this. When I talk about lifting weights, muscle strength, muscle size, this is a guarantee. I'm guaranteeing that your team will be 30% stronger. Now, you know what the beautiful thing about what I'm saying?
That's
You
substantial.
can quantify it. So it's measurable. I'm saying do this. He says do that. Do this for a month. Do this for a month and measure it. You'll see who's telling the truth.
That's right.
But it's amazing how no one took me up on that. I'm
Wow.
shocked.
Oh.
well, we're very specialized, and you would think there would be more emphasis on that with nutrition and electrolytes and
Yes.
training and that kind of thing, Jackie, because we see so many injuries in the game today.
Yes.
Do you see Equinemius or Amon-Ra, St. Brown, both these guys getting hurt? No.
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 That-
I'm
that-
telling
that-
you, I've seen your boys play, and this is funny because I didn't know they were John's sons. It said St. Brown on the back of their jersey.
And you didn't know it.
I didn't know it was John Brown's son.
And I've been knowing Vince for 20 years.
Yeah,
He
I'm
goes,
saying
Yeah,
there's
I
some
didn't-
guys I saw working out in the gym.
I didn't know it either, Vince. But you want me to tell you what I noticed about?
And they are good. They can play some ball, Jackie.
I know. This is what I.
Who's the guy for Detroit?
This is Amon. saying.
Amon.
Amon.
Now
Okay, I know. That's what I'm saying. He's the man.
I know. This is what I was going to say about Amon. I watched him. I don't know how big he is. How tall is he?
6 feet,
He's 6 feet. How much does he weigh?
208.
But he plays
Six-
like a giant.
He's 6 feet and he's 208. Vince.
He plays like a giant.
Vince. Another thing about when he runs his
Why
routes,
should it be a penalty?
when he runs his routes,
Yeah.
he is probably as efficient a route runner as.
T in 3 languages.
Yeah, I was going to mention.
They took the
what,
SAT.
What languages do they
German,
speak?
French, and English. Took the SAT
German,
in all 3 languages. I barely took it in English.
Parlez-vous français?
No,
No.
Deutsch.
No. Deutsch.
Well, you got me thinking German now.
Yeah,
Here.
right.
So I trained them to be good human beings. You understand? Not to, at the end of the day, they're my sons and my wife's sons. That's who they are. I want them to always keep their feet on the ground. But it's not difficult. There's a lot of kids I see, I go, if that was my son or if that was my daughter, they would go all the way. Everyone put their pants on one leg at a time. There's no supermen in the world. You worked your butt off. You worked your tail off. That's how you got there. There was no secrets to it. It's all about the work. With so many parents, they think this is the work when it's here.
Right.
They don't know.
Yeah.
I'm shocked how much you know about my son.
Oh man.
Wow.
I watch.
Wow.
I watch
So
closely.
Amon wears number 14.
Yes.
Equinemius, what numbers
19.
he wear? 19.
He's
any
on- he's playing
any reason
tonight.
why they like the numbers?
No, they just said, I'll
That's what
take
they
any
want.
number.
That's what they
It
want.
doesn't matter.
Give me a number. I'm ready to go.
Just I'm ready to
Give
go.
me a number.
That's what they
It
want.
doesn't matter.
Give me a number. I'm ready to go.
Just I'm ready to go.
That's funny. I've been knowing him for so long. And he calls me up, John, let me ask you a question. I'm in the gym here. This guy said Amon-Ra St. Brown's your son. How's that possible? Your last name is Brown, and his last name is St. Brown. What is it? Is that true?
And you told that to your son too,
Yeah,
right? When
yeah.
you saw, because John was at Thanksgiving. He went back to the Detroit game.
Yeah,
we were both shocked.
Actually,
at Green Bay.
Yeah, we saw him on
that game.
TV. Remember?
Yeah, we saw John on TV.
They put a pit. They
Right.
put your
Oh man.
showed you up there enjoying the game.
Yeah, it was. It's a great ride.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, and I'm so proud of them.
I know you
that
are.
They put their, like your son, put his nose to the grind and just do the best you can to be the best you can out there.
Right. But they had a great example, John, and I can tell you that I respect all the bodybuilding. To me was something that I could never do.
Oliva.
I could never do it. I thought my arms were too long. I just thought my legs were too long. I could never do it. But I knew
How
the
much did you
value
weigh
of it.
at your peak.
The heaviest I weighed was probably 315, 318.
I wish I had a guy like him
I know.
under my tutelage.
Can
for
you imagine?
3 years.
But John, how you used to train though? I think I read something about you that when you used to lift weights, you would do repetitions, lightweight, small repetitions, and you would increase your weight, and you would
the weight.
exponentially go
Yes.
up with the weights.
Is that
and
what you
lift
did?
More times.
That's just the opposite
How
of
it
what
would
most
work.
people do.
Exactly.
I would do it always the
The stack on leg extensions, 100 reps a set, 5 sets. Leg curls, your legs are shot. You can't walk from here to there. Now, I want to put you in the squat rack, and I'm going to put your max on, and
Wow.
I'm pulling all the pins out.
Oh,
And I dare anybody to help you.
that was a back. That's a blown disc in my case.
No, your mindset will change.
That's right.
But can you imagine if I had you?
Yeah.
You would be a lethal weapon.
Wow.
A lethal weapon. You would have been benching 700 pounds.
I could have used that against Too Tall Jones and Howie Long
Oh,
and Mark
God.
Gastineau and
Man.
Reggie White. I could have used that.
Yeah.
George Martin.
It's amazing. It's amazing what the proper training can do
It
for
is.
you.
It is. And I'm also, like John, asked that question.
See some of the
And I would tell them, look, don't take my word for it. Measure it. It's measurable.
Yeah.
They're
quantitatively.
doing it all wrong. And in order for me to go on stage, I had to eat chicken and fish, right? High protein, low carbohydrate diet for months to lose body fat. But you know what I lost? And every bodybuilder from here to New York would tell you they lost 30% of their strength. So when you tell an athlete to eat clean, it's because you don't know what you're doing.
So what website?
Especially
is
an
that again?
athlete that
Is
needs power.
CaneProtein.com.
Cane, C-A-N-E. You lose power, you lose everything. One more
Stamina.
thing. Here's a stamina. Look. I got to be careful what I say here. But I went to a gym at a school, a college, big name. I asked the guy, I go, well, what do your athletes do for their calves? Where's your calf machine? They didn't have one. No. Okay. Where's your hamstring machine? They didn't have one. So I don't quite understand. We're from Earth. If you have a bad hip and you don't get it taken care of, your left knee may give out because of the compensation, the muscle imbalance. If you do squats, squat racks, no hamstrings, you're going to pull a hamstring because now you created a muscle imbalance. That's why you get the hamstring pulls. And another thing, all these guys stretching, too much stretching is bad for you. Everyone thinks stretching is good. It's the worst thing you could do is stretch. Why don't they challenge it? Everyone just gets in line and does what they tell them.
Well, now I can tell you right now, you're going to be fighting a lot of institutions in this country at every level because stretching is so important. And I will admit, stretching was important to me because if I didn't, I had a tendency to tear muscles. Once I stretched.
There's a gentleman here that's the best stretcher in the world. He's going to stretch you so well, and then you got to run. Or you can go to this guy. He's going to warm you up. Which one would you do?
I would if I had been stretching on a regular
no stretching.
On a regular basis coming into this event, then I probably would go.
No stretching.
Oh,
you got a choice. You just out the bed.
Just out of the bed?
I want to be warmed up because if I run the 40, I might pull a muscle if I'm not warmed up right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Everybody's going
to I want to get warmed up.
Right. So why stretch?
Yeah.
Think
Warm
about
up.
it.
Yeah, warm up. Yeah, because
Yeah.
if your muscle is warm, there's less chance of it being pulled.
Why
but-
why not why stretch?
But John, now I'm gonna lay some
Okay,
heavy facts
I'm
on you
listening.
right now.
All right.
You got a deal. I'm gonna tell you now, from every institution you can think of, from the high school level to the college level, in all the various sports, they have a designated person in that organization who is responsible for stretch, warm up procedures for those athletes. There are never a Division I college athlete that will be allowed to go and participate in that sport live action without stretching. So there's somebody that believes in it. Maybe they're doing it too much. I don't know, but it's
We
constitutional.
just had Mr. Sully on the thing here. He was a coach at Servite High School.
Yes,
Troy Thomas never stretched.
never
Kids
stretch.
the football team never stretched at Troy. Troy never stretched, right? They only did warm up. You only do warm up.
You mean just running and going through the motions?
Yeah,
right?
you warm your body up. But because if the case was correct, like you just presented, then why warm up? Just stretch and then go play.
No, you got to warm up.
Yeah, I think it's a combination, though,
Yeah, I
don't you,
think
Vince? A
probably.
combination of stretching
Yeah.
and then getting the body temperature
Okay,
brought up.
you have springs in your car. The springs, if that spring is loose or a loose rubber band has no power.
If it's too loose. Yeah, I agree with that.
I saw a study they did on the Army did it, 100 men. They did 100 meters, bench press, and another event, and they lost strength and speed after they stretched. No one, look, we live in this world. We're born into this world, and they're telling us to do this, but someone has to stop and say, well, okay, I understand that, but this man is challenging that. Let's do some research on it.
Yeah.
Let's research.
Well, I tell you what, Vince, we could sit here with this guy right
They
here.
can debate this.
We could sit here and
Yeah.
talk about this all night.
But you're
and,
right. If you have numbers and it's quantitatively designed that way,
Exactly.
then you can
Yeah.
make your decision, a logical
Exactly.
decision off of it. But,
There it is.
but yeah, there's a lot of different values of opinion for that.
Right,
I
right.
think,
And-
too.
and- and-
John,
and you
John
gotta
makes
measure
a
'em.
good point.
Right, he makes a
makes
great
good
point.
point.
He makes a
Makes
great
good point.
point. But you got to understand, in professional sports, the people who don't understand like you do, they look at it as, first thing you got to do is do a little stretching, then you get a little warm up, and then here we go. They got this in their heads about how this should be perceived, and then they've gone out and hired people to come and do that. So it's an institutionalized practice.
It's like
that,
football. A long time ago, you could just give them take headshots. Now they got smart and go, well, we don't think headshots are good
That's
anymore.
right. They outlawed it.
Right?
Yeah.
So as humans progress,
I wish they had outlawed it when I was playing.
they get smarter. And I'm saying it weighs 100 pounds, and someone else is saying it doesn't. Fine, let's weigh it.
Well, Economia's got to be happy tonight. So far, they got a 3-0 lead in the first quarter over the
listen,
Vikings.
we need the Bears to win because we need the Lions to do good in the North.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
So
right.
I'm hoping that the
right.
Bears win this game.
That's right.
but-
That'll help the Lions.
I am
Yeah.
so shocked at your information and intellect. How do you know my son like that?
Well,
I mean,
I
all
watch.
the players.
I
you look
watch
at.
him. I
yeah,
watch
but you
him.
look at a lot of players.
Yes. I do look at a lot of players. I watch the game. Sometimes I can be sitting there watching the game. I have no idea what the score is, but I get captivated by the some of the athletes and some
They
of the
just
things
picked
that they
one off there. The
some of the
Bears
things-
just picked the pass off.
I saw that, and some
Yeah.
of the things that they do. And when I watch your son,
You've been a good scout.
I see a very efficient guy when he
Unbelievable.
runs, and he looks like he's stronger than most receivers that you want.
Yeah, he's
to
very
see
strong.
as
Yeah,
well. And then when I listen to him talk, and I see a mental giant. This guy is tough as nail.
This is freaking me out.
Well,
He's tough
John,
as
you
nail.
I
know,
mean, I know
man.
you guys, from football and the golf tournaments, and
Yeah.
Vince from the gym and his tournaments, and I'm listening, going, how do you guys know all this stuff? I mean, there's so many players you have to look at. How do you retain all that?
Yeah, you just
we're going to
notice.
have
That's
John
all
on
you-
again, Jackie. And the next time we have John on, he's going to talk to the parents. And
Oh,
about
that'll be fantastic.
parenting-
We talked about
parenting
that.
young
Yes.
kids.
John,
and
would you
the way
mind coming
they
back?
do-
Would you
that
mind
be
coming
awesome?
back and joining us again, because we have a lot of parents that have athletes. I can think of a lady at the gym that physical therapy where my wife goes. She has a son, a baseball player, really good baseball player that's on a scholarship now, and she wants to do everything she can to help him be successful. And you've got 3 sons. All of them are very successful athletes at the highest level in this country.
And academically.
Academically and athletically. And they're the best at what they're doing. So there was something, John, that you did and you said, you and your wife, that gave these young men the opportunity that they have.
Yes.
And we want to, with our audience, we want to have you come in with us and share that with our fans so that they can hear that and maybe take some of it and apply it.
That'll be fantastic.
Can we look forward to doing that?
It's my pleasure. And if they have questions, it's even better when they shoot questions.
Right.
If they
we
shoot
can
questions,
get comments too from the people.
You know, and then it's easy to elaborate on what I would do in that particular situation. Real quick, in closing, I want to say this. I was with a friend of mine. His daughter is a basketball player. Mm-hmm. He goes, no. I go, why is the coach calling your daughter and you're not getting an offer? It's because as a parent, you don't understand what to say and how to handle that coach. So I gave him some guidelines. Call her up, say this, say that, say this. She got a scholarship.
Wow.
Based on what I told him to do.
Just based on what you told him to do.
That's it.
Wow.
And that's just a knowledge from experience, John, that you've acquired, and we think that's valuable.
That is good.
Vince mentioned that to me.
Share that with
Vince
a lot
mentioned
of our
that to me a
viewers, too.
year ago when he brought you up, and I said to Vince, I agree with you. We got to have him on, and what we'll do, John, is when you come on with us, we'll get questions, specific questions that you would have joined us.
There's no substitute for hard work. I think
Absolutely.
So,
Exactly.
this guy is nothing but
No
hard work.
substitute for hard work.
No substitute.
John, thanks
There
so
it is.
much.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for joining us,
Congratulations to the
John.
boys.
Pleasure.
Make sure you tell the boys we said hello, and we're rooting for them. We're rooting for them.
What? Vincent, you didn't know that was on your day?
Well, I'll tell you
what a
man,
guy,
John,
huh?
Yeah, he's got a lot of advice.
Oh, yeah. And you know, you look at John now, and John probably weighs 220.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
Still
but
looks good, though. He still is in great shape.
Yeah, he's in great shape, but Vince,
Yeah.
the man has nowhere near the muscle density
That
and
he once
development that he once had. He was just an unbelievable. I mean, you looked at him with his shorts on and not standing there with nothing on but his shorts, and you go,
Right.
the good Lord said, let there be man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, he
Well,
was just an
Well, if
unbelievable.
you don't use your muscle, you lose your muscle.
Yeah,
so
he
maybe he's
was-
not pumping it like he used to, and I can understand why. At his age, you don't continue to pump iron that much. But, yeah, he does look good for it. But, I'm telling you, he's really been a role model.
Lips trying to wait to the last minute for a receiver to come open. A lot of these guys just take off and start running for their lives, because if they don't, they're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
So I quarterback, what's his name, Dobbs?
Joshua Dobbs.
I also look at Joshua Dobbs
he's
and
playing really good as
I
well.
say this guy's on his second or third team, and he's got all of that stuff that
Yeah.
you look for in a special guy. So why is he on his second or third team? So this is an interesting game for me to watch.
A guy like Joshua Dobbs, when he came to the Vikings, within one day, not even having the cadence and the snap count and knowing the players' names, Jackie, and just being given it, just spur of the moment.
Yes.
Like, boom, here you go. This is your information. And he was able to absorb all of that information and carry out a game plan, which was remarkable.
It really was.
And to perfection. And to come from behind and still win. And they've gone on to win like 3 games in a row. So
I know.
They have a winning streak moving. So tonight they're in a little bit tougher contest. I think the Bears are, showing what they can do, and it's going to be a good game. But we don't know. We're I think midway in the first quarter? Or
No,
just
actually,
second quarter.
it's
Yeah.
10:31 in the second.
Quarter. What do you think? We take a quick break and we'll be right back. If we take a quick break.
Yeah.
And
You know,
we'll come
I
right
think
back and
I think
share.
if we take a quick break, I might be able to sample this.
Wow, exactly. I think we can do some of that, Jackie.
Yes, I think
do
so.
some damage right there.
Let's take a quick
well,
break.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned and make sure you don't go away.